Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Andrew Snorton with Creative Community Solutions. And as you know, when we do our press and media work, we do some great coverage with people, whether it's in arts and entertainment, sports, government, community, you name it. We try to cover it as best as possible. And every once in a while, we get a chance to have a great 10, 15-minute or so talk with some really good people who are committed to their professional development, their personal development, their communities, and more. And this gentleman is no stranger. We've had a chance to talk with him multiple times during the year, and we're always excited. So when you have Mobley Marketing in the building, you take time to pause, shake your hand, tip your cap. I'm not rocking the shades and what have you, but he's shining bright. So Mobley, it's good to see you again.
Yes, thank you, Author Snorton, for having me. It's always great and a pleasure to connect. So thank you.
Yes. Now, before we get into the great things you're doing right now and on the immediate future, give people, if this is their first time connecting with you, a point of reference where you're from, and what would you say was that moment that you pivoted into the marketing work that you're doing right now?
Okay, yes. My name's Anthony Mobley. CEO of the Mobley Marketing 19 agency. I'm from South Jersey. I'm actually recording in my hometown right now, my church. So shout out to New Life in Christ Ministries in Malaga, New Jersey. So yes, from New Jersey. And I started, I would say about close to almost 10 years now, where I started in the lane of, learning and starting to learn that marketing was the craft or lane for me. But my business launched in 2016, so the business of doing Mobley Marketing 19 started from me moving to Atlanta and working for a cosmetic firm, where I then decided to, branch off and start Mobley Marketing 19.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's almost like a number of people, you're doing something else. You learn some of the essentials or the tricks of the trade. I won't even say tricks, the tools of the trade. But then you realize, hey, this is my foundation, but I can go ahead and put my creative spin on it. Now, before we get into your current projects, can you walk through with us like a couple of more recent projects where Mobley Marketing's been able to leave their footprint?
Sure. Yes. The Truth with Mark Naughton. I believe the last time we spoke, we were actually in Atlanta, our last interview, and we were preparing for a deployment in Boston, which went very well. We spent about 4 days in Boston, covering different stories that, was happening there in the harbor. So the Truth with Mark Naughton, we're also planning to go. We've been to Las Vegas since the last time you and I, Author Snorton, spoke. In Vegas was a very powerful trip. I met some great people in Las Vegas, and the story we covered there was, very deep and emotional, of course, where the Las Vegas massacre. So, we got to meet with some of the survivors of that situation, and also just kind of take in, you can't take life for granted. A lot of those people were there to see a concert and, lost their lives. So, of course, prayers to their family. But the trip was it was very powerful, very powerful.
Wow, that's awesome. And we forget it wasn't that long ago. And like you said before, being able to revisit that, to kind of use that as a checkpoint to see how far people have gone, whether it's the provisions are in place or just how people are still healing and recovering. And then, as you know, we're so close to the start of the winter holiday season with Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I'm sure there's a couple that we're not intentionally leaving out, but and just knowing how, during this time of the year, there are some hurdles that people are clearing. But I think, to your point, being able to go back there and speak with and check up and check in and informally, provide encouragement and let people know that their voices are still important and need to be heard. I think that's kudos to you, the Truth of Mark Naughton, and, the work you're doing just through that lens.
Yes, thank you. And also thank you for inviting Mark Naughton and I to your celebration, which was, got to meet some of your colleagues. Very nice party and event. So thank you.
Hey, thanks a
Well,
lot. And part of it, to your point is, getting connected and staying connected. You never know when you're going to be in different spaces and places, and people that can help you, just help you move, help you maneuver, help you grow. So I'm very grateful, to you, everybody. Yeah, everybody really. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for other people who thought enough to give me a shot. And speaking of, providing opportunities and give people chances, part of it is your ongoing body of work with your hands in so many different areas, whether it's television, whether it's film, whether it's music. Like, you really are that one-stop shop when people need to get their marketing game together. Walk through with us a couple of the projects that are taking place right now that people need to keep their eye out for.
For sure. So like I would say the past 6 months, a lot of the celebrities in the entertainment industry have been showing Mobley Marketing 19 a tremendous amount of love and support. And I'm so, humbled and honored and grateful because, it's in Hollywood, not everyone are quick to give a helping hand. A lot of people are just about, themselves, but especially in today's day and age. So to have celebrities that I've looked up to or watched on television actually, share me on a daily basis. Like, special shout out to Lauren Govan from, Basketball Wives, Jennifer Williams, Evelyn Lozada. Just to name a few, even the jacket I'm wearing, Raymond Santana, who was a part of the Central Park Five and the Exonerated Five, has been very supportive in, showing my company love and sharing me with their following. So I'm very humbled and grateful. I'm also going to be working with a new company called Generational Wealth that's giving back over $50,000 in scholarships to, young underprivileged, students. So I'm just very humbled and honored to be a part of these projects and to help see others grow and succeed.
And I'm glad you said that, because even in just that description, you have your footprint in arts and entertainment. You've got your footprint, and that covers, like we said, television, radio, film, music, but you still have your grounding to where you realize, I'm from the community. I need to put something back into the community. So identifying some of these community-based organizations. Another thing you said, where you are, you're at the church. Walk through of all the places. And it's not a Sunday. Why are you in church on a Thursday? Walk through with that with us today.
It's not often that I get to be home in South Jersey. I'm constantly traveling for work. So, with the holidays coming up, I actually Sunday had a chance to go to Bishop Hezekiah Walker's church in Pennsylvania, but also my bishop and uncle, Bishop Simmons, had a 50th wedding anniversary celebration I was able to attend. So Sunday was very busy, but I'm glad that I was able to, not only get to make it to Pennsylvania for Travis Malloy and Hezekiah Walker, but also come back to my roots to, support my bishop, James Simmons Jr., and New Life in Christ Ministries. So like, this building is a part of who made Mobley Marketing 19 who I am today. So I'm forever grateful and honored to be, home for the holidays.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, like, your grounding is so important. It gives you perspective. It gives you strength. It gives you insight. It gives you encouragement. And even with, the different things that you talked about that you previously did, a couple of the more recent projects, as well as some of the current ones, it's just that undercurrent of, you're here to positively amplify the good things that are taking place. Walk through with us. And we know marketing means different things to different people. And we hear a little bit of everything and see a bit of everything. What makes it so important to you to line yourself with projects where, hey, look, this is where we can positively amplify something that people need to be aware of, people need to see, people need to touch and connect with? Walk through kind of that mentality or that approach.
It definitely, takes a lot out of you mentally and physically. But the good thing is, I feel like, if it's something that you're passionate about, and making change is very, very important in today's day and age. We're dealing with a pandemic that everyone who's living has never experienced. So to be able to use, my talent and skill to help bring change in the community and in the world. I have artists and different people actually in other countries that have reached out to Mobley Marketing 19, asking me to be a part of things they're working on. So a lot of great projects. Actually, another author who just wrote a memoir about her life that I'm going to be doing an interview with her soon. I just love getting positive, messages out there. I feel like there's too much negativity. So when you can spread some positive, light and, be a blessing to someone's day, to me, that's so much more powerful than negativity. So I try to always, regardless of what I'm going through, shed light and give positive influence where I can.
That's real important. Like we said a little bit earlier, we're on the horizon for, two, really, I'll say 3 key holidays. When you think about it, you've got a week from today, Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas, you've got New Year's Eve. And we also, we want to acknowledge our colleagues, for Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and a few others. As we're getting into getting ready for the home stretch for the end of the year, fourth quarter, what are a couple of things that are on the horizon that you want people to know and be able to plug in and lend support?
For sure. I would say stay tuned for the Generational Wealth Project. That's something that you're going to start seeing on the Mobley Marketing 19 social media pages, helping the underprivileged students get a chance at going to, school to further their education. Also, I'm going to be announcing the new year, my own first independent book that's going to be amazing. I'm super excited about that. Also just giving back during the holiday, toy and food drives. Actually, you'll see a lot of that going on my page. So just being able to give back. So this is the season that, I thank God for all the blessings. I want to be able to give back, so it's all about giving back. This is the season of.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, before we wrap up and before, obviously I want you to remind people of the best ways to stay connected. And you kind of answered it in that previous question, but of the many takeaways that you have from the work that you've done, your life experience, things along those lines, as we're getting ready to embark into the holiday stretch or the holiday season, what's one, we'll say, seed that you want to plant or thought that you want people to reflect on that you think, whether it's applicable within marketing or just life in general, that you want people to take away, put in their memory bank, slide it in their jacket pocket or hip pocket, be able to take it out. I know we have our phones and stuff, but sometimes old school, that slip of paper, that note card that they can take in, take out, what have you. What's one thing you'd like to leave with people?
One thing I would leave with people is definitely, don't take life for granted. If anything, I think this pandemic has shown us that, tomorrow's not promised to anyone. So definitely, don't take life for granted. My sister just got married a few weeks ago. So to be able to have all of my family, both grandparents on each side. I lost my grandfather on my mother's side some years ago, but my grandmother was there and my grandparents, just to have family together for a celebration instead of a funeral was just very powerful. And, I soaked every moment of that up because, again, you don't take life for granted. Tomorrow's not promised. So, if anything, I would say, tell the people that matter to you that you love them and, let them know if you're not in a good place with someone, try to fix it, work on getting in a better place, or work on just bettering yourself.
I tell you what, that's just great insight, within and beyond whatever we do professionally, community-wise, or what have you. So before we go, please let people know the best ways to stay connected, informed, engaged, and supportive of these great projects that you've already got on your plate, and the ones that are kind of, sitting in the deep freeze, or they're marinating a little bit, like that steak on a, I might have to, well, it's nice out here. I don't know if it's that hot, but steaks that you marinate, put on the grill, that type of thing. So go ahead.
You can, follow me at Mobley Marketing 19 on Facebook, Instagram, also on Twitter, and my website, mobleymarketing19.com. I just did an amazing photo shoot some months ago that we're working on finishing the revamp. So I'm excited about that. So definitely, follow, stay tuned, some great projects and announcements to come. 2021 was amazing, and I'm so excited for 2022. I mean, look out. Mobley Marketing 19 is taking over.
Well, I tell you what, as always, it's been great, to get connected earlier this year. Every time we sit and chat, it's just a good vibe. Of course, fellow Jersey folks in the building. So shouts to our friends and associates in the real tri-state. And what have you. Hey, I'm not hating. It's, look, like Ali said, it's not bragging if it's true. So we're just spitting game and just being truthful. But again, every time we've been able to chop it up here or on the full show, the Conversation Corner, it's always something, learning something new every day and staying motivated and encouraged. So thank you for your positive energy, your insight, your balance. You're leaving your footprint in so many areas, and with all that you're doing. And I think we can both say, with everything that we're doing, we know that there's more on the horizon. So again, as we close out, hey, we always have fun when you get a chance to do these. If this is your first time connecting with Mobley Marketing 19, please don't let it be your last. This article and write-up will be available on acenortonccs.com/blog. It'll be the most recent one. Check out all the different articles, but check out this one. We will have it out on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as LinkedIn. So that way we're covering, a few of the grounds where people can meet, greet, and connect. So until next time, shouts to Mobley Marketing, continued well wishes today and during the upcoming holiday season. And for everybody that's taking time to watch this, and we'll have this on our YouTube as well. So everybody's taking time to watch and support. We thank you so much. Take good care. Have a great start to your holiday season.